Hello everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I say last one second, I'm just getting the links sent out. And then we can get into it. Let's see charlatans, yeah. Can't spell tonight. Right, Twitch working. Right, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in once more. I do appreciate you coming back to watch this sort of stuff week in, week out. So the guys appreciate it as well. Steffers, how are you doing? Where is Johnny? Where is he? There he is. Oh, he's sat in pits doing that. Oh, we're waiting to go qualifying. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, is it. Welcome back once more to Spa-Francorchamps, a real life circuit based in Belgium. It's 7-kilometre circuit, hosts 19 turns. This circuit has seen all sorts of action over the years. Hosting its first Grand Prix in 1925. It's gone under a lot of changes since then. The funnily named Master Kink being a famous old corner in the new layout, though. I want to say this is 2007 onwards that we've been sort of stinking on now. Hosts the famous Eau Rouge corner. Eau Rouge, of course, being the name of a stream that runs down past what is effectively turn 2. And it plays host to the final round of the Tanso Racing Group Trophy Monster Porsche Cup, round 4. So I've got some championship standings for you, which I'll go through in qualifying. I'll give you an update as to where everyone is. And what sort of battles to look out for during the race. Let's just get that up. Let's have a look. Okay. Come on, John. Oh, Johnny's got loads of support in the chat. I am good, mate. I am good, thank you. How about yourself? Is Steffers having to suffer in another room tonight again? Right, let me grab the stuff John sent me. Okay, so an update on the tables following last week's round at Dragon Trail. So the current leader of the championship with 2 wins under his belt is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's been in superb form. We're watching him on stream, and now he's got 55 points to his name. 10 points behind him is the Don Dotter, and word is Don Dotter can't race tonight, so we'll see if he does appear. I've not seen him in the lobby, but we'll see. In third place is Cool Rides. Cool Rides and Obi-Wan Kenobi have been somewhat glued together over the past couple of weeks, so hopefully Cool Rides can stick it to him. Cool Rides is 13 points adrift of the lead, so we would need a good result here in order to get something out of it. Cutler then hosts 4th place on 40 points, just 2 points behind Cool Rides. Carrington currently holds 5th. It's on 36 points. He is 19 points adrift of the first place though, but well in with a chance of leapfrogging Cutler today. Ghost Realm Gaming, also a driver we don't think is going to be driving tonight. He is P6. Britsberger P7 at the minute on 28 points. Pilgrim Paddy P8. 26 points to Pilgrim Paddy's name. Dylan Curtin, another driver we don't think is going to be able to race tonight. Host number 9, Scrabs. 17 points for him. He can leapfrog a few places tonight with drivers ahead not driving. Sean F, we understand, is not well, so he's not driving at the minute, but he comes into this one in P11. Rick to continue, who's not had the greatest championship given his practice pace. He has been able to put some pace down in the earlier races, but he is he's currently holding 12th. Mrs. Miggins, who joined late on, 13th for Mrs. Miggins. Simo, 14th for Simo, and Red Devil rounds out your championship standings. Go on, Carrington. Ghost Rider, Staffers. Go on, Johnny Flowers, CRT flag. He's in with a good shout tonight. In terms of a result, we know he's a very what's the word? Don't give up type of individual is probably the best way I can put it. He's not had the best of luck so far this season, but that is racing, of course. You take the rough with the smooth, and he's, of course, rode it out. He is currently in the suck of Obi-Wan Kenobi, because, of course, we're going to be having a short qualifying session now. Let's get you some info on. So 15 minutes qualifying to determine the grid for Spa, and then a 40-minute race. The tyre wear and the fuel consumption is what has decided a lot of these races. People pulling off really good strategies has been the forefront of the action in this. We've had some great action on track as well, but people like Cutler and Carrington have used strategy and tyre saving nous to their advantage and have pulled off some good results because of it. So the outlaps are away. We'll actually join Carrington for a lap of Spa-Francorchamps as he looks down the back of Obi-Wan Kenobi's car. So, turn at number 1. La Source is a hairpin right-hander. Oh, we need to do a restart. I think we're just going to have to wait for that to do. I might have to hold off my lap guide until that comes off. Oh, and Tony. Just waiting for Cutler looks like he's typing something. So I think we're going to be quitting back out and then coming back in. We've not got many drivers in the lobby tonight. We've only got 8 drivers at the minute. Cutler's tyre saving's been really good. It has. I mean, I've raced in a different championship with him before, and I don't like blowing my own trumpet. And Cutler will probably come agree with me if he can hear me. But I had him on pace a lot of the time in the race. But the fact that he could just save tyres like an absolute boss, he just killed it. It was really good. And I've spoke to him about it. He doesn't know how he does it, so I've tried to learn. So we're quitting out then. We're just waiting for the drivers to... The drivers have to exit the lobby so we can go back in. So Rick's still doing laps. So we'll probably just have to pop out in just a second. Sandbagging. Probably. Yeah, probably. I'm not. My driving style's too aggressive for tyre saving. I can't do it. I can do it to a degree, but not too much. So we've got a new driver in tonight. Someone who I understand is filling in. So he's driving Dutch Manar, aka Rob. He's in for Sean, who's not been able to race for one reason or another. Let's get that done. Come on, Kenobi. I'm rough for my tyres, yeah. I don't know. I've tried to be smooth, and I'm on the wheel and everything, but I'm too much of an aggressive bastard. Kenobi holding up the show. I love how I've only just noticed that it thinks you're typing wank. Oh god, it's not got the memo. He'll be back. Right, so we'll wait for Kenobi to come back in. There we go. I'm getting away with qualifying, as you probably see on the screen. 10 minutes qualifying, followed by a 40-minute endurance race. Just to give you a refresher on this lobby settings, we've got 6 times tyre wear, as you can see there, and 4 times fuel depletion. That means that there is no way on God's green earth they can no stop this. They have to do pit stops. Now, whether the drivers can pull off a 1-stop, a 2-stop, or even go for a very aggressive 3-stop strategy, they have the choice of the racing hard to the very softest of soft racing super soft tyre. The super soft, very sticky, will grip to the track exceptionally well, but it's got a very high wear rate, so won't last that long, in other words. So if you're going to run the super soft, you need to know how to take care of your tyres. Probably expect most drivers to go out on a medium or a soft compound. I'd imagine they've done their strategies already, and will have figured that out. Of course, we did already have a race at Spa. The eagle-eyed ones watching will know that this race has already been run. It was meant to be the first race of the season, but PlayStation Network issues meant that the lobby got cancelled with a minute to go. So we did have to abandon ship on that one. So this is the rerun of it. Good luck, guys. Go CRT from Ghost Rider. You got a few boys repping. Carrington's out for qualifying early. So this isn't like F1 where we've got different qualifying knockout stages. This is 10 minutes. Fastest lap you can do in 10 minutes takes it. The fuel wear and the tyre wear is on for this, so most drivers will be going out on their race tyre because they have to. So they have to pick the tyre in there that they want to go out and race with. Most drivers taking the soft. And then, Simo's already had an accident. And you'll probably see them come in and just get that tyre change. So some drivers will probably opt to do a fuel burn lap straight away. Just get rid of some weight in the car effectively. We'll come in, get a fresh set of boots on, and then go out and do some laps. Some will want to stay in the slipstream, just like Cool Rides is doing with Carrington right now. The slipstream on Spa can be very, very powerful. There's a lot of straight lines here. You're on the throttle for a lot of the lap. But being in the dirty air, especially in Sector 2, is not beneficial. So if you can time it so you get into the slipstream coming out of Piron, which is where Cool Rides is now, then you're in a good spot for the back straight. So 9 drivers will compete in this. Answers in the comments as to how many are going to make it to the end. Enjoy Spa, it's one of my favourite tracks. So we're on driver cam then with Carrington for his flying lap. Watch it be, he's one of the ones that peels off into the pits for a change of tyres though. I will talk you around a lap of Spa-Francorchamps. No, he's gonna go for it. Nice one. So, start finish straight. This is where the drivers will start their race. It's a very short one, about 200 metres or so, down to the La Source hairpin. Scene of many theatrical accidents in the Formula 1 and GT world. You then have a downhill past the main grandstand, down towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Of course, an exceptionally famous corner, and one that sadly claimed the life of a young Antoine Hubert just a year or so ago. A slight lift is probably recommended. Just come into the entry, the right-hander on there, and then you're on to the Kemmel Straight. Most overtaking will be done towards the end of the Kemmel Straight. If you can get in the slipstream, you will get a significant speed advantage into the braking zone for Les Combes. Onto the brakes as the curb starts, and you need to just coast the car through this first sector and just start feeding the power in as you start to go through the right-hander. As you can hear Carrington just balancing the throttle there on the exit. This corner, downhill braking zone, so you need to be very careful with the understeer. Just a nice second gear, hug the apex. Don't want it too far out as you come into No Name. Smash the dildos that are standing on the inside of the circuit as you go down towards Pouon. Look for the 50-metre board on the right hand side. That's roughly your turning point. Sorry, your braking point. As we just see Carrington just run it a little bit, I think he should have turned in just a spot earlier there. I used the 50 metre marker as my guesstimation zone. This is very tight, especially the left-hander here. Again, Carrington smashing dildos over as he comes down towards Stavlo 1. He needs to be really careful on the exit for Stavlo. It's very tempting to pick up the throttle, but that green AstroTurf on the left-hand side is very slippery. Coming out of Stavlo 2 then, this is where if you're close to another car you'll be thinking about a move down into the bus stop chicane, which is right at the end of here. Before you get here though, there is Blanchimont to contend with. Blanchimont in these cars pretty much flat out left-hander. Heavy on fuel though, the drivers are having to just lift out the end of it, looking for that 150 metre board, braking about 130 metres into the bus stop, absolutely smashing the apex on the right hander and the left hander, and just measuring out your throttle on the exit to start another lap. So a 2:21.6 for Carrington that lap. He's quickly beaten by Cool Rides, who sticks in a 2:21.6 as well, so not a lot in it. Obi-Wan Kenobi then smashes it with a 2:20.9. Scrubs 2:26.1 for him. Simo's going to be next across the line. Of course, the favourites for the Simo's gone very deep there into the bus stop chicane, and that's going to lose him a few times. I don't think this is a representative lap anyway. We're into the 240s already. 2:43 for Simo. Rick to continue, goes into the pits. We thought a few drivers might do that. Pilgrim Paddy's carrying on. He's on an out lap, of course, Pilgrim Paddy, so this won't be representative. Neither will be the lap of a driving Dutchman. So from now on we'll probably just keep a little bit of an eye on the timing screens. Coolwise did a very good lap just to pit Carrington there on his first lap out, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi came and smashed 6-7 tenths off all of them. Cutler always a favourite to do well, especially in a race at Spa where strategy is likely to be important. He's currently 1.5 seconds off to pole time, so plenty more to come from the karting pro, no doubt. Just trying to figure if he's changed his livery. I don't think he has. Scrubs then, P5 for Scrubs at the minute. Great qualifying so far for him, despite him being 5 seconds off the pole time. P5 on the grid it is for him at the minute. As the driver's coming through, about to come through Stavlo, let's see who's smashing it. Cutler was purple. Let's have a look. Oh, nobody's absolutely crushing it on this second lap. Cutler was the man in the ascendancy though. He's the fastest man on track at the minute. Oh, as he just cuts it too wide up to Blanchimont. The game might up to penalise him for such dareness, yet they've given him a 1 second penalty, so he's going to try and serve that straight away. That might mess his next lap up though, because he's going to be down on speed. So Obi-Wan Kenobi and Carrington peel off into the pits. Cutler then's going to have to go for another lap. He has got time if he times it right, and if he's got the tyres he's got time to get around and put another lap in. I think Carrington, Coolrides and Kenobi have probably timed their pit stops to perfection. If they come in, just get some fresh boots on there and just go for it now. You're going to need a fast out lap though, boys. They need to get back around in about 2 minutes 20. Which for Coolrides at least should be fine. I think they will make it okay. Simo finally puts in a lap time, 2:27.7 for Simo. Good enough for P6 at the minute. Pilgrim Paddy sets a time, 2:23.3. Driving Dutchman, 2:23.5 for him. The only person not yet to set a time is Rick to continue. So we'll wait and see how he does. Where is he on track, Rick? He's on an out lap, so he's putting all his eggs in one basket. This lap for Rick has to be a good one. I don't know whether he's spent his entire time fuel burning or what, but this is his final go at it now. Rick, we'll see a few more drivers get one more lap in. Those are Obi-Wan Kenobi, Coolrides and Carrington. Let's see where Cutler is. He's got another little penalty as Cutler. Where is he on the timing screens? He's just about to come through Stavlo 2. He was way down on sector 1, so all that speed he had to lose to get rid of the penalty has cost him dear. No purple sectors active at all. Cutler's 2.4 seconds down. He will, importantly though, get round to do another lap. I just don't know what state his tyres are going to be in. In fact, using this handy graphic, we can look. Oh, his tyres are pretty shot. Cutler though is very good at extracting pace from scrabbly tyres, so we'll see what he can do. He needs to get rid of this penalty though if he's going to have a chance of getting anything in, and that's exactly what he's doing. He seems to burn his penalty away. So he's going to go for one more go at it on, I'd say the worn softs, but they should still have some life in them. So Cutler goes around for one more. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Cool Rides and Carrington are out for one more lap as well. So 15 seconds of his qualifying session remain. These boys are going to make it round for another one. So will Scrubs. Scrubs wants another go at it. He's just going to make it around in time. That's it for them guys. No one else is going to get another lap in. So we've really just got a few drivers out there giving us blasting times. Let's check up on Rick. He's about to come through Stavlo 2. Rick to continue. No, he's not quicker. He's not going quicker, unfortunately, Rick. But we'll see where it lands him. Driving Dutchman 2:23.4 for him, so keeps him in P6 but closes him up on Pilgrim Paddy. He has just joined us, by the way, so it's he might not have got much practice in. We don't yet know just how much he will have done on that. Simo's from Fred just binned it coming through the bus stop. Rick to continue. Let's keep an eye on his, and then we'll flick back to the battle for pole. Rick to continue's laps going to be in the 230s, I think. It's 2:29.1 for Rick. So unfortunately, that is last on the grid for him. Right, back to it then. Cool Rides, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Carrington, a last lap shootout for pole. They've all gone through sector 1. Who was doing better? Carrington was purple, sector 1. He, of course, firmly in the slipstream of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that will only help him out on this lap. They are just approaching Stavlo 2, where the next timing board is. Is Cutler going round. Cutler's got yet another penalty. He's just going through Stavlo 2 now, and he's down on his time, so Cutler, I'm afraid, is out of the picture. The pole lap's going to be decided between Carrington, Cool Rides and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And as they go through Stavlo 2, Carrington is the one in the ascendancy. He's miles ahead of everyone else. He's purple. Obi-Wan Kenobi had a really good sector time in sector 2 though, so it's going to be very close between these two guys. In fact, it's too close to call. I think 2:20.9 to beat. Obi-Wan Kenobi's going to be getting a little bit of slipstream from Cutler up ahead, from Cool Rides up ahead, sorry. So Cool Rides are going to be the first one to set us a time. 2:20.9 to beat. 2:20.7. Obi-Wan Kenobi beats that with a 2:20. Oh, and Carrington. Oh no, Carrington doesn't improve in the end. Well, he does improve. 2:20.8 for Carrington. But your pole time right at the death. Obi-Wan Kenobi 2:19.7 for your pole time. But Cool Rides next to him on the grid. Carrington and Cutler, the duo that keeps duelling, are next to each other on the grid. So here we go then, the Trophy Monster Porsche Cayman Cup, round 4, the final round, live from Spa. Might as well just take a sip of tea. Yeah, good result, P3 in quali. As the rev started to rise, and it's lights out and away we go. Everyone seems to get away well. If anything, Cutler bogs down slightly. Pilgrim Paddy's got the inside line coming into La Source and is at risk of knocking Cutler down to 4th. Carrington though for some reason went really slowly, and Cutler's managed to pip Carrington. So the CRT driver from 3rd to 4th, but importantly, and one sort of aspect of Spa-Francorchamps is this incredibly long front straight, the Camel Straight. Carrington already duelling for Drilling for P3 and he's got it before the corner's even begun. Cutler's got a little bit of a penalty to serve. He's now got to catch up to Cool Rides. A couple of guys serving penalties in the background. Rick to continue in 8th, driving Dutchman up to 7th, battling away with Simo. Obi-Wan Kenobi though, as we come down towards No Name, leads the field ahead of Cool Rides, just half a second behind him. Carrington now up into 3rd place, just a second behind those two guys. Cutler's got Pilgrim Paddy for company. Simo's not too far behind these guys either. Simo's got driving Dutchman looking to make an overtake. Richter continues not too far back in the distance, and I dare say Scrabs is somewhere. Yep, Scrabs is just at the back somewhere. So no madness in lap 1, which is good to see. No need for the safety car to come out on track or anything daft like that. Everyone's behaved themselves. We've got 40 minutes to go. What I really should have done was gone back to my live stream last time and had a watch, just to see if I can spot any strategy peaks that these guys might try and pop up. This is a look back from Obi-Wan Kenobi's car. You can see most cars are still in the same train. Cool Ride's just 2 tenths behind him. Carrington looks like he's gained as well, because nobody looks like they're in a position to make a move right this second. Carrington right at the back of Cool Rides now, just 2 tenths between those guys. Driving Dutchman's got past Simo, so driving Dutchman now up to 6th place, so that's Rob up to P6. Simo just gets it on the AstroTurf in the background. That's going to put him all the way down to the back of the grid. Good news for Rick to continue though, he's now up into P7 and he'll be chasing down his countrymen ahead. Cutler's dropped back from Carrington though, quite a lot, 2 seconds in the last lap. I dare say there might be strategy going on here. We know what Cutler can be like, he can be a little bit sneaky. Because if he's took on like a medium tyre or a soft tyre, as Carrington burns off his penalty fairly, gets rid of it straight away. That is going to put Cutler close to him, but Carrington's not a million miles away behind Cool Ride, so Carrington's got to keep his cool now as he gets that car just a little bit loose on the exit of Lake Com, and Cutler is back through to P3. And Carrington looking to hustle his way past straight away. Sorry about that, when that overtake got made I had a gob full of tea. I didn't want to spit tea all over my keyboard, so I don't. Let's just go on board with... Let's stay on board with Carrington and just have a look at what happened back up at Lake Com. So he got rid of his penalty, he got straight back on the throttle, back onto the racing line. Yeah, he just picked up some oversteer coming around the corner, and that's just let Cutler through. So easily done. If you smash the curbs there, the back end of the car can quite easily step out on you. So no major changes yet, especially not at the top of the field. There's been a few position changes down towards the back. Simo's resuming in P8. Richter continuing to charge down on the driving Dutchman ahead of him, just about to get some slipstream now is Rick. As the driving Dutchman goes way off course. And that may give him some dirty tyres coming to the bus stop. It has. He's gone really deep, the driving Dutchman. And Richter continues, pretty much going to be able to drive right up to the back of him now. He has. He's took 6 tenths off him in just one corner. Richter continues, so he's right up to the back of him now. And driving Dutchman's got a penalty that he's serving straight away. But that again is going to put Richter continue in a prime position to make an overtake. Coming up the Camel Straight, Rick will not be looking for a move down here. He will be looking to give himself some prime slipstream going up for the Camel Straight. You can see he backs off there, waits patiently. Now we'll mash that throttle. He's 3 tenths behind coming onto the Camel Straight. You watch that deficit absolutely shrink. You can see driving Dutchman's going defensive already, and he backed off the throttle there for some reason. Rick to continue, just slid straight through into P6. A little bit of overspeed going into Lake On, but that's okay. Alright, Carrington v Cutler. I know this is going to be a one to watch throughout this one. It's closed up again. Carrington's driven back up to the back of him, and I'm just out of curiosity gonna go and have a quick look at tyres. So yeah, both on the same tyres, but we know what Cutler can be like on saving them. I think at this point probably be wise for Carrington just to think of his tyres for a little bit. Battling can kill them, so I don't know what his strategy is, but sometimes having a couple of laps long battle isn't accounted for in your strategy planning, so maybe just make sure he's not absolutely nailing his tyres. We know Obi-Wan Kenobi and Cool Rise tend to go on quite aggressive strategies, so they tend to go on soft compounds and will absolutely kill it through. So now the action has calmed down again. It is a notable time to give some shout outs to the sponsors that have got behind this. So of course we've got Trophy Monster, who are the title sponsor for the league. As you can probably tell by the name of the company, they deal with trophies. So for any trophy needs you've got, hit them up. We've also got Motorsport Wall Art, who again, quite self-explanatory in their company description. It is what it says on the tin. And then the latest acquisition for Tanso Racing Group is MK Designs. You'll see quite a lot of the lads, if not all of them, sporting MK Designs logos on the cars. Carrington's got one right on the white stripe on the side there. Go and check them out on Facebook. Anything creative, arty, crafty that you can think of, they've probably made it. I've already been having a look at their shop myself, and might well be picking up some sort of metal printed clock that they do that I saw, but not the BMW one that's on there. I want my one. I want my car on there. It would be nice. Anyway, back to the action. Carrington down with prime overtaking opportunity. Coming towards the end of the Camel Straight, he backs out of it in the end. But that slipstream has given over. Cutler's just made a mistake. Cutler's rejoined the track quite. What I say from Cutler there, that rejoin wasn't the safest I've ever seen in the world, and he's picked up a second penalty for his trouble. Now let's just jump on board with Cutler there and see what on earth happened. I think he just got his braking all wrong coming into Lake On. Johnny Tight. Oh yeah, fair enough, Steffers. He's like me then. Right, so you can see Carrington's really rolling up to the back of him here. Cutler takes the racing line, brakes where he should brake, but for some reason the car just doesn't respond. And to be fair to Cutler, he was barely on the throttle when rejoining. It wasn't like he was racing back on track. It looked worse than it actually was. So Carrington now back up to P3, and if Steffers has anything to go by, he's going to have to get his foot down now and build a bit of a gap, because Cutler's not going to be able because Carrington's not going to be able to tyre save as well as the man behind him. He's on a personal best lap though so far, Carrington, so far he's on the pace. If he can get Cutler out of his slipstream, it will be all the better. Meanwhile, no change at the front. Obi-Wan Kenobi is starting to pull a decent gap now to Cool Ride's 4 seconds pretty much. The gap between first and second. These guys should be on pretty similar strategies as they usually are. They share the same strategy department. Thankfully not sponsored by Ferrari. Cutler's the one that tends to spring a surprise. Let's see what tricks he's got up his sleeve for this one. He's just out of slipstream range of Carrington now, so he'll probably be wanting to go aggressive for a lap or two to try and get that slipstream back. To be honest, I don't really know. I'm out of the way again. Fair enough, fair enough. Driving Dutchman and Rick to continue then. Resume their battle. If you remember a lap or so ago, Driving Dutchman let Rick by, and I will forever be wondering why he did that, but he did it, and he's now back up into P6. So all is not lost in the battle for 6th at the minute. Simo still plugging away. He's just leading ahead of Scrabs by about 4.2 seconds is Simo, but he's being dropped by the guys ahead. But credit to him, he's sticking to it, and that's kind of all you need. He's rocking the Don Dotters livery for some reason, so not really sure why, but there we go. Let's keep an eye. Carrington versus Cutler. So Carrington's kept him out of his slipstream range, which is good to see. If anything, has extended it by a couple of attempts. Cutler will be wanting to make up for that mistake he made a lap or so ago, and we want to try and reel in the CRT driver, and that's indeed what he's trying to do. So I'm loading up the wrong thing on my phone. Right. Oh. Why is Cool Rides dropped back at one side? Well, I look away from my phone for 1 second and suddenly Cool Rides goes 2 seconds slower that lap than he ever has before. So Cool Rides is really starting to suffer with his tyres now. You can see, given the tyre graphic on the bottom left of your screen, that those soft tyres are absolutely battered, and a car that should be producing 2 minute 20, 2 minute 21 laps is now in the 24s. And those tyres definitely seen better days. Obi-Wan Kenobi able to do a better job ahead of saving them consistently in the 21s and 22s, although his pace is now starting to drop a little bit. Carrington also in the 22, so matching the pace of the leaders then on his worn soft tyres. Cutler though really reeled him in that lap. Cutler's still in the 22s. He's had one bad lap, but he's been consistent as ever as Cutler. Now firmly in the slipstream, although he picks up another half a second penalty, probably just for cutting at the top of Eau Rouge, and again aims to serve that straight away. Does so fairly. That's what all we ask the drivers to do, and he's managed to serve that without losing any time at all to Carrington. So the chase for third is well and truly on, and I guess it's just a case now of who's going to pull the trigger for the undercut first. We're 10 minutes in already, in fact a little bit more, 13 minutes into the race. So now's where I'd start expecting the super soft and soft runners to come into the pits to make their change of tyres and put some more motion lotion in the tank. Probably expect Cutler to extend his stint. He tends to try that. So we'll tend to go for the overcut if anything, but now he's got a really good run on Carrington. I think Carrington just got poo on a little bit wrong, and Cutler's got that move made now. Carrington's had to yield. I think he's suffering a little bit with those tyres. Yeah, you can just see the front end of that Porsche wash out, especially now it's getting some dirty air. Well, you can really tell when you're behind another car in these, in any GT car really that's got worn tyres. You can really tell because the fronts just don't want to bite at all. They do not react well to any loading, and Carrington's starting to unravel with the tyre wear. So we might see him dive in for a fresh set of boots, who knows, or he might try and ride it out. Meanwhile Cutler's then going to try chasing down Cool Rides, who's just lost Obi-Wan Kenobi completely. Obi-Wan Kenobi pits. Cool Rides is going to do the same. Cutler's going to carry on, so is Carrington. So we have contra strategies ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Cutler and Carrington on one strategy, Cool Rides and Kenobi potentially on a very different one. So expect to see these two guys on very aggressive strategies. These guys will definitely pit again. So they'll pit themselves probably for another 6 or 7 laps, and they'll go and do another stint. Yeah, Kenobi's not put a full tank in there, we can tell, and he's gonna come out in third. The driving Dutchman might have a run on him, but sensibly decides to stay out of it. So Obi-Wan Kenobi with a pit stop in hand is just 13 seconds behind Carrington and Cutler. Carrington and Cutler still going at it. Cutler's picked up yet another penalty. King of the tyre saving and king of the penalties this track so far for Cutler. He's beginning to pull away from Carrington a little bit. Carrington, who did a 24.6 last time round, Cutler did a 22.5. So the difference in the tyres are really starting to show now between these two guys. Cool Rides has come out in 5th, quite a way down. His pit stop was a lot longer. Of course, we'll see how all this pans out when Carrington and Cutler come out into the pits, because Cutler's now in a net P1. Drop Carrington though 2.5 seconds behind him now is Carrington, so he's had a poor lap this time round. He might be thinking in his head, does he switch his strategy up? Does he go long? Does he put mediums on and just go and just stretch it out for the rest of the stint? Cutler might well try that as well. As Carrington's just got it all sorts of wrong coming through Stavlo 1. And the last 2 laps, unfortunately, this has just unravelled a little bit for Carrington, but the race is not over yet. We're not even at the halfway point yet. Plenty can and usually does happen in these races, so you just have to keep plugging away. Cutler, as you can see ahead, burns that penalty off. Does he pit? No, he doesn't. He carries on for another lap. This is Carrington's opportunity to get an undercut figured out on him. He's going to pit. He's going to go for it. The CRT pit crew team now rush out into the pit lane and get to work on his car. Obi-Wan Kenobi's going to go through and resume the lead of the race. Driving Dutchman's going to come into the pits. I wonder if Rick Continue comes into the pits. No, he already has been in. So let's see if Rick's undercut worked on him. We still got 9 drivers. Yeah, we have. Simo's still out there. Good lad. Simo's pitted. Scrabbers' tyres is in better days. Program Paddy's pitted. Driving Dutchman's just released out the pits now. Richter continues just about to approach the source, but it looks like Driving Dutchman's going to get ahead well away. So the undercut didn't work for Rick to continue on this occasion. Alright then. So Carrington, after his pit stop, is going aggressive. He's going very aggressive. So if you guys can see that on screen, his pit crew slapped a set of the super sticky, super soft tyres on there, and he's now going to go all out pace. So I hope that works out for him. Meanwhile, Cutler on worn tyres is starting to drop lap time now. Last lap was a 23.5 compared to his best 22.1. So these tyres are starting to go off. Where is he in terms of lap time? Coming through Stavlo, he's 7 tenths down on his best. So yeah, he's shaping up to be another mid 23 this time around, unless he pits. We'll see what he does. He's looks very much like he's going for the one-stop Cutler. Alright, so it definitely looks like he can make a one-stop work on fuel. He's going to go for another lap. Alright, so he's going round again is Mr. Cutler. This time was a 22.7, so very, very impressive last sector from Cutler there to rescue that lap. He now leads Obi-Wan Kenobi about 8.5 seconds, but we know we probably expect Cutler in at the end of this lap. Kenobi's just put in the fastest lap of the race at 2:20.4 in the race. Where of course you don't want to take as much risk. You tend to be heavier on fuel, you tend to be on a slightly harder tyre compound, so that's a very impressive lap time. So he's in P2, leads Cool Rides on the road by nearly 9 seconds. Carrington now with a point to prove. He's on the stickiest tyre you can possibly get. And you can tell just by the body language of that car that he's going to be ragging every ounce of performance out of that car he can during this stint, just to pull that gap into Cutler. Of course, Carrington in the heart of hearts probably knows that Cutler's going to no stop. He goes purple sector 1 with no slipstream, so that tells you just what he's on. He probably knows that Cutler's going to go aggressive, so he thinks, well, I'm going to try something different and just switch it up, and that's probably the right thing to do. We'll see where it lands him though. Driving Dutchman seems to be improving in pace as the race wears on then. He's P5 at the minute, does trail Carrington by 12.5 seconds, but has just pulled an almighty gap on Rick to continue in P6, so he's comfortably in P5 with no one really around to race with. Rick to continue, just mentioned there. I think he tried to go for the undercut, I think, if he's had, and it just didn't work out for him. Pilgrim Paddy, who's largely been untroubled so far, he's got a massive gap either side of him. So has Simo, and so has Scrabs. It's just the 9 drivers to talk about today. Does make my life a little bit easier, but also a little bit more boring. Let's see what happens with Cutler as he comes into the pit stop. Tiny little bit of lag from his car as he entered the pits. Obi-Wan Kenobi really reeled him up on the last lap there. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to go back into P1. So if it were to finish like this, it would of course wrap up the win of the championship. Coolride's certainly done himself no harm at all. He's just put in a 21.4. Carrington 22.0, so his best lap yet, Carrington. Certainly quicker than what Cutler's been doing. So Carrington goes through. Cutler we know is going to be going heavy on fuel, or is he? Reports from the pit lane are confirmed he's also gone onto the super soft tyre, so he's on the sticky tyre as well. So he saw what Carrington did at his pit stop. He'll have had that relayed to him. You do get a little graphic on. They get the same graphic on their thing that we do. So Cutler will have seen that Carrington went onto the supers, and Cutler wanted a little bit of that as well. At the minute, 6 seconds behind Carrington so far is Cutler. But we know that Cutler can, I think if he wants to, looking at his fuel anyway, can potentially stretch that fuel to the end of the race. Meanwhile, the leader doesn't usually get a lot of coverage in these things, but Obi-Wan Kenobi doing a fantastic job in P1, pretty much led this from the start. So he will, with this result, if it were to finish like this, he would take the win, even if, to be fair, would he score? No, if he DNF'd, if for any reason Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't finish the race and DNF'd, Coolride would take the title by the looks of the points. As it stands on the road, Carrington trails Cutler by 4 points. So Cutler's on 40, Carrington's on 36. What do you get for P3? So for P3 you get 15 points, 4th you get 12. So if it finishes like this between these two, Carrington and Cutler, Cutler would still keep ahead of him in the championship, I think just by like 1 point. Oh, when Cutler's binned it. I'm afraid. I think he's just got it all wrong coming through Blanchimont, and that's going to have wrecked the rear end of that car. And that's going to let the driving Dutchman make an attack, is it? No. Well, we're going to go back and have a look at that. Let's just go on board with Cutler. So we're on board with Cutler. We're on the approach to Blanchimont. We shouldn't forget his car's now full of fuel. Oh yeah, he just caught the back end of the car. That rear right tyre at that point is fully loaded, and you've got all the weight on the back of these things as well, so it will just swap ends on you, and that's exactly what happened to Cutler. Fortunately, he's able to continue. And of course, now probably with a little bit of dented pride. I think it's the first time I've seen Cutler go off, and driving Dutchman is all over him, and he's getting some slipstream down the Camel Straight. Can he get that move made? Driving Dutchman's going to have to go a long way around. Cutler defends. Driving Dutchman decides just to back it out of it. So that gives Carrington a little bit of breathing space then, as he's just stuck in a 21.4 as well, so he's definitely on the pace. Because we'll probably expect to see a pit stop out of Carrington soon. And where's Cutler? Cutler's 12 seconds behind him. So I'm just trying to figure this out. See, permutations wise it doesn't really change anything, but if you look at this as a standalone event, it's quite interesting what could happen towards the end of this one. There's potentially 3 different strategies going off within the top 4 alone, so it all could just come together at the end. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi and Cool Rides are pretty much going to be doing the same thing. So they'll probably just match each other like for like. I wouldn't expect to see much difference from these guys unless one person just goes for the fastest lap point right at the end. Carrington though, probably expect him in the pits. Yep, he comes in the pits. So now it's whether he decides to continue going aggressive or now goes to the end. That is the question. Definitely can make a stint to the end now. Cutler will probably reassume P3. He will. We don't know if the fuel on Cutler's car will make it to the end, and even though Cutler's a god at saving tyres, even he will struggle to keep a set of super softs alive right until the end of this one. Driving Dutchman goes through to P4. Rick continues, gonna potentially get out into P5. Oh no, he won't, because he's got it wrong into the source. That's going to be Carrington up through to P5 instead. So now, yeah, he's going long, Carrington. This is it for him, we think. So everyone ahead of the CRT driver as we start to see lobby glitches now. Everyone ahead of the lobby driver, of the CRT driver. I can't remember where he's out tonight. Probably has to pit. We've seen already that there has been accidents, there has been little dents in armour. From the usually unflappable Mr. Cutler. So Johnny's strategy there was just to put a really hot mid-stint in just to close that gap a little bit, and he put in some really good laps, come in, swapped it out, and now goes long. In the meantime, Cutler did have a bit of an off while pushing, and I think he's going to look to probably slow his pace down a little bit and just take it a little bit steadier. Cool Ride's kind of in no man's land now. Cool Ride's not fighting anyone, but I'd probably expect to see him and Obi-Wan Kenobi in the pits very soon. Of course, when they do pit, they'll probably still come out 1-2. Because Cutler is 26 seconds adrift of those guys. Oh, we've got a car backwards. Who is that? That's Rick to continue. He's done a Giovinazzi, and he's stuffed it off at P1. I'm going to guess before I've seen it, he got his right hand tyres, which will be fully loaded through P1 onto the dark green AstroTurf on the right hand side of the track. There. Yeah. We've all done that. We've all done that. So that's Rick to continue. He's in P6 at the minute. Hasn't really affected his position. So we've got Cool Rides and Obi-Wan Kenobi in the pits now. They will be coming out. Actually, Driving Dutchman is in a net P. Well, he's in a P2, not a net P2. He's in P2 now. Although we know he's going to have to stop again. Cutler comes out in P2. Obi-Wan Kenobi P1 for him. Cool Ride's still in the pits. Coming out now. Cool Ride's going to be P4 by the time he gets out. Driving Dutchman and Cutler between him and Kenobi. So I'm just going to keep an eye on fuel and stuff as we go through and just see who we think can make it. We've got 10 minutes left of this one. Carrington rolled the dice. Let's see if that roll in the dice worked out for him. 10 minutes to go. We're looking at probably another, what, 4 laps? Maybe 4 or 5 laps, is it? Thereabouts. Depends when the leader crosses the line. So Victor continues in the pits. Pilgrim Paddy's going to get past him now. So it's Pilgrim Paddy now up into P6. pretty clear of the Dutchman behind. Pilgrim Paddy's now on a set of mediums. So we think Pilgrim Paddy's going long. I have a fear that Carrington overfueled, you know. Looking at his fuel gauge compared to everyone else, he's got a lot more in there. That does of course mean he's safe for fuel. But looking at Canody and Cool Rides, hell, even Cutler, although Cutler looks like he's going to be marginal, he's going to have to watch this, Cutler. I don't get the display in their car of how many laps they have remaining with the fuel strategy and sort of map that they're running. Of course, they could look to have not a lot of fuel in the tank, but if they're running that fuel at a really lean mixture, it's going to run a lot longer than someone who's going for all-out pace. So we'll see as he goes wide at Blanchimont once again. That's bit him already. Cutler's really pushing the boundaries this time around. He really wants this result. Cutler now comes into the pits, so he's gonna splash and dash and probably set a new set of tyres on there. He'll probably come and fit some super softs again. Carrington's coming around the bus stop chicane now. Driving Dutchman and Cutler in the pits. Let's see if Carrington can come out ahead of any of these guys. I'm not sure he's going to. Where is Cutler? Cutler's been released from the pits now. Where's Carrington? Where's Carrington? Where's Carrington? Carrington's gone through and he gets him, does he? Yes, just got him at the end. So Carrington's just pipped Cutler. The worrying thing for Carrington though, Cutler now has enough fuel and has the tyres to get to the end, but that strategy for Carrington worked out perfectly. That's probably just what he wanted him to do. He would have preferred it though if he didn't have to battle this much. Cutler, I know what he's like, he's going to try his hardest to get in front. Carrington smashing dildos around the side of the track once again. These two are battling through Les Combes. In fact, let's just go and have another look at that little move that they both made there. That's just on board with Cutler then. Cutler's going to go around the outside of Carrington. We switch back to Carrington for just a second. He kind of lets it happen. Lets Cutler outbrake himself. And then gets him back round the outside. Lovely racing between these two guys so far. So Carrington retaining P3. Drive your own race, Johnny. Bide your time. Yeah, good advice there from Ghost Rider. Sometimes just doing your own thing is good enough. He just takes it too deep there. That's going to like Cutler up. Great racing between these two, but I think this racing's not what they both need right now. Although saying that, they're not under any immediate threat. Pilgrim Paddy's had to retire from the race. We're down to just 8 drivers. My only fear with that one, Ghost Rider, is that we know Cutler's on the softer compound tyre. We know Johnny's on. I mean, let's get me wrong, the soft's not slow, is it? Like, there's barely a difference between the racing soft and the super soft in terms of grip level. But it's still one step softer. So he needs to keep on his tail then through the end of the race. Quite right, Steffers. So the battle for third is where the action's at. Let's have a quick check on everyone else and just come back to them in a moment. Driving Dutchman P5, a great opener for Driving Dutchman. He's had a good race, he has, to be fair. Rick continue holding P6 at the minute on his personal best lap. Scrabs has picked up a little bit of damage there. He's currently holding P7 and Simo. P8 for Simo. Both of those guys having a little bit of boring races by looks things, and Simo doing a little bit of Tokyo drifting. Good to see, good to see. Obi-Wan Kenobi though still with the lead of the race. Cool Rides P2. Cutler and Carrington still battling away. Carrington went a little bit deep there, and that's going to put him out of slipstream range, I fear, of Cutler. I think it has. Better tyres but making mistakes. Yeah, I think both drivers have made little errors flat laps, and it's mainly little things like they've both just outbraked each other into corners. I keep mentioning that they're hitting these dildos at the side of the track. They're actually bollards, and they simulate the real life impact by unsettling the car. So to be fair, you want to be avoiding them, because they can throw you off a little bit. But yeah, Cutler had that off, of course. Go on, Johnny, smash those dildos. That's Cutler doing it now. I know that because I was in an LMP1 race the other day, and one of them made me crash out. I actually got crashed out of a Le Mans race by a dildo. Right, so the bad news I got to report is that CRT Carrington's been dropped a little bit by Cutler. Cutler's dropped him a little bit more. I think Carrington may pick up a little bit of a penalty there. I say bad news because I want to keep this racing between these two guys is great. I want to keep this going. So at the minute it's 4.5 seconds between those guys. There's nothing really doing elsewhere. If you look at the track map on the top right hand corner of your screen, there is cars everywhere, and there's only 8 cars on circuit, so the closest pair are these two, and there's 4 seconds behind these two as well. So we're into the dying depths of the race now. This is 3 minutes to go. So this is the second to last lap you're watching now. Cutler's just put his personal best lap of the race in a 21.0. Carrington's time by contract was a 24.4. So Carrington's really struggling on the soft tyre. Anything can happen. Yep, it can. Anything can indeed happen. As we've seen plenty of offs and little issues. And you can still see one major thing I've always said as a racing driver: if you can see your opponent in front of you, it gives you that impetus to go a little bit faster. And you can tell he's certainly leaning on that Porsche, smashing dildos out of the way as he goes. And he's actually taking time out of Cutler on this penultimate lap. Come on, Johnny, push it, says Steffers. I think he is. He's reeling him in. Oh, but he's gone wide at P1. That's going to cost him a few attempts, at least half a second at best. And yeah, that gap's just shot up to 5.3 seconds. Then Cutler steams on ahead in the distance. But again, this is Spa. It's never over till it's over at Spa. Cutler keeps pushing his luck with that grey astroturf on the outside. Look, oh, and Cutler's done it as well. Cutler's wide. That's going to cost Cutler a few attempts. It's going to cost him some speed as well, coming up through Blanchimont. And you can see instantly the time between him and Carrington falls a tenth straight away. So we break down towards the bus stop for the penultimate time. Your race so far, current winner Obi-Wan Kenobi, P1 VM, a great race so far, led start to finish. The Lewis Hamilton of this series. Cool Rides has kept him under pressure most times, but today just sort of fell off him quite early on and couldn't get that rhythm back, but has kept good pace throughout this one. P2 for Cool Rides so far. Cutler's P3, but he's had to work for it. Carrington's kept him honest throughout this race. Some strategy uptakes throughout the race have kept this one mixed up. Carrington P4 at the minute, with 1 lap to go. Driving Dutchman, a great opening round from the Driving Dutchman so far. P5 for him. Richter continues P6. Scrabs P7 and Simo in P8. So all drivers now on their last lap. Let's keep an eye on Cutler v Carrington. 6 seconds is the gap. Great race so far for Obi. Yep, he's had an absolute stunning race. Like, his pace has been phenomenal for it. In the 21s most times. Most of his laps have been a 21. So his pace has been incredible. He currently leads by nearly 16 seconds, and I don't get the impression watching him that he's pushing it that hard. So yeah, he's doing a fantastic job up in P1, and with this win would take the win of the championship overall and would be the recipient of a lovely Trophy Monster trophy. I think the top 3 get a trophy, from what I've read. I'm sure Scrabs will correct me if I'm wrong. Consistency wins, yeah, and that's what I'm working on myself. My biggest downfall is I'm official bong loader. I love that. He's got official bong loader on the back of his car. Anyway, so Obi-Wan Kenobi takes the win. The final round, that's 3 rounds to his name. Obi-Wan Kenobi, dominant performance in this race and in the championship overall, takes the win by 16 seconds. Cool Rides comes in P2. He will take P2 in the championship, I think, as well. Cutler just at the end managed to pull a bit more of a gap to Carrington, so he's going to claim P3. Carrington, one of the fan favourites though, the Lando Norris of the Cayman Cup World, P4 for him. Driving Dutchman with a P5 on his debut entry to the series. Rounds off his opener with a P5 finish. Rick to continue, P6 for Rick. Scrabs comes home in P7 and Simo in a P8. Well done, Johnny, good race. Yep, it was an entertaining one. Let me just check the tables. Yeah, so I mean the Don Dot is officially P2 at the minute. Cool Wise is going to take P2 off him. And I think Cutler may just nip P3 as well, you know. I don't know. I think Don Dot has done enough to keep P3. We'll have obviously an update from the officials as to how that has affected the championship standings. Thanks, Ghost Rider. Always a pleasure, mate. Cheeky little plug for myself, but if you're not already, follow me on. If you follow me on Facebook, it's just a CJW Racing page on Facebook. If you follow that, if I'm doing anything new, I tend to post it on there. If I'm doing comms, or if I'm entering a race myself, because I do my own sim racing, you can come and follow me on that. Yeah, it will be a pleasure to have you along for any future streams. You've been a great bunch to chat to while this has all been going on, so I appreciate you coming checking it out. I really do. A man talking to himself alone in his bedroom often sounds like a very sad thing to be doing, but I'm talking to people, so it doesn't matter as much. Right, so let me just save the replay. So yeah, of course, congratulations to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's go and say that first of all. Where is he? My laptop's in the way. Yeah, there he is. Thanks, Steffers. Hopefully John is in a good mood. Cheers, Mikey. Yeah, coming up next. Well, a lot of racing seasons are finished now. So in terms of like this and the Power Max McGann trophy that I commentate, they're all done now. We have confirmation that the date for the race of winners that I commentate on with Dark Smoker, that's happening on the 22nd. So put that in your diary, Wednesday the 22nd. It'll probably be at 8 o'clock, give or take. So keep an eye out for that, and then we'll probably have a little bit of a race break now. There'll probably be the odd team versus team I'll throw up, but keep an eye on the Facebook page, get a like on that. Follow me on Twitch, it should give you a notification when I go live anyway, so you're not going to miss anything. Yeah, he's in a good mood. Oh, nice one. Tell him well done from myself. I know he probably didn't get the result he wanted, but still put in a good drive. That's all you need. Hopefully we see all you guys in future streams and races. But from myself, from the Tanso Racing Group Folk, with a big thanks to Trophy Monster, Motorsport, Wall Art and MK Designs for their sponsorship. We appreciate it and thank you very much. Carrington, wounded, put wrong tyre on at first stop. I thought that was on purpose. We were calling that a strategic masterclass, because I thought you were just going for a really quick mid stint. I wonder why you fueled like you did though. I was looking at it and thought, surely if you go in for a thingy stint, but never mind. May the force be with you. And with you. Alright, it's been a good championship, Johnny. Hopefully I'll and you guys over at CRT, by the way, don't be strangers. Like, I'm in your group now. You know, I've suddenly found myself with a lot of availability. So if there's anything you need, give me a shout. If there's any races you're covering or anything, or even if you need someone to sit behind the wheel and plod around for a few laps, I'm relatively decent at doing that. So give me a shout. Just colour and joke racing with you. Right, I'll leave that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good night.